Hi everyone. Hi everybody. As they just mentioned, not got that far. My name is Yeti Afolabi, and I have the pleasure of being your host for tonight's Q&A section. And yeah, I just wanted to say, first of all, it's been a brilliant event so far. Would you guys agree with me? Yeah. The round of speakers has been absolutely fantastic, and I'm really, really happy to be here. So this is the time where you guys get the chance to pick the brains of our beautiful panelists here. So we're going to start with each of you guys just introducing yourselves, and I need you to do it very briefly. So we need your name, your age, what you do, and your favourite quote, starting with Ella December.
Hello everybody, I'm Ella, I'm 20 years old and I'm an inspiring author. I've written 8 books for free and they're on script. They collectively have 65,000 plus reads. And on the 1st of December 2013, I'm going to release my first novel through Word Jar Publishing called Crossroads, and it has a cast of 4 intellectual, cultured Black British women. And my favourite quote is, it's really random, it's from a Meek Mill mixtape. On one of the songs, the DJ Drama, he says, as dream chasers, we consider ourselves to be a creative upper class, and I consider myself to be creative. So basically, creativity is power, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything, and just dream, be creative, be proactive.
Hi everybody, my name is Iffy, I'm 21. I run a Christian, I run a Christian organisation called Limitless. We got some Christians in the house. And favourite quote, okay, this is going to sound, I didn't really come with unprepared, but since she went with Meek Mill, there is one by Rich Futu, I really like, and he says, this is very serious guys, I'd rather invent a bus than drive a Maybach. You'll be crying to insure it, I'll be laughing to the bank. Like that? That's me.
Hi everyone, my name's Florence, I'm 22. I have my own makeup line and I currently have a retailer in Belgium, and I'm in talks with a UK retailer, hopefully it'll go well. I don't have a rapper quote, but my quote is from a philosopher called Rumi. I don't know if you've heard any of his stuff, but my favourite quote is, it doesn't matter how slow you go as long as you don't stop.
Good evening. My name is Linda Graham, and I am the co-founder and editor of a new natural hair magazine called Isis Mag. Currently, we are, I think, distributing in Europe, Japan, bits of Africa, all over the UK, and we work with cosmetic companies like Clinique in America, Pax Cosmetics, and a load of other companies. Favourite quote? I've got 2 actually. One is quite strange, Adolf Hitler. Sorry if I cause offence, but I think this one is, it's a shame that the masses don't think, and I'm a thinker. And it links to my second quote, which is from Descartes, I think, therefore I am.
Thank you, panelists. Okay, so guys, we're just going to dive straight in with the questions. So one thing quickly before you guys come with your questions, I want to share with you is something my pastor used to say, and it was that almost always the quality of the answers you get are almost always determined by the quality of the questions you ask. So think very carefully about the questions you want to ask so that you can get the most out of your answers. So, any questions, people? Who's going to be brave and go first? Stand up, please. Will you shout out your name and then tell us who your question is directed to?
Hello. My name is Benjamin, and I want to ask a question for all you lovely ladies. And I'm sure you all read a lot of books. What's the favorite one book that all of you love?
On Beauty by Zadie Smith.
The Richest Man Who Ever Lived by Stephen K. Scott.
I'm currently reading a book called The History of Business of Hip Hop.
Oh my gosh. The encyclopedia.
Bingo. Okay, any other questions? Anybody else? Go from this side. In the black dress, could you stand up for me, please? Can you tell us your name and then who your question is directed at?
My name is Josie. The question was everyone. What challenges do you face in society?
Who wants to go first?
The most challenges.
Have Florence?
I'd say my biggest challenge is dealing with people, because putting together a product, I have to deal with suppliers, other manufacturers, and just like a whole different people on different levels, and some are passionate about what they do and others aren't, and you can really tell as soon as you start interacting with people. So like some of the speakers said earlier, you have an idea, and between getting that idea and having a finished product, there's such a long process, and I'd say dealing with people would be like my biggest stress.
Okay, so I think mine, because we self-publish, we keep everything in-house and we're independent completely, so we don't have any major companies, pushing a lot of finance through the magazine. So I think, again, like she said, mine would probably be subscribers, getting all our legal documents signed on time, and making sure that the magazine launches when it's supposed to launch. That's one of our biggest stresses.
And over to you, Iffy.
I would say the battle of the mind, making sure that I'm doing what I need to be doing and not being deterred by what people might say about what I do, making sure I stay motivated and staying true to my convictions.
My biggest challenge, I would say, is myself, and basically just to don't procrastinate, don't give in to pressure, don't let negativity consume me, and just keep on thinking about the end goal, and that this will all pay off, and I'll be happy.
Thank you guys. Can we give them a round of applause as well? Any more questions? You at the back, please. Stand up. Your name?
My name is Chris. Some of you have said that hip hop and rappers is quite, their quotes have stuck with you. Nottingham Carnival just gone. There's a lot of culture within rap and black community that is kind of less promoting positivity. How do you draw from that culture positivity as for young black females, and how do you balance that same culture that can stigmatize you as well? How do you gain inspiration from it as opposed to suicide?
I'm a writer, and also I'm Nigerian as well. I'm British Nigerian, and one of my biggest frustrations with the black British community is I feel that we like to glamorize a lot of the bad things in black culture. It's always black crime, thugs, and it's always that kind of side that we're shown to us. And I was watching Top Boy. The first week I enjoyed it, it was exciting, it was exhilarating, but the second week it was just the same old drugs, the same old stereotype. And even if you look at black films that we've had out, Kidulthood, Adulthood, Bullet Boy, it's just the same stereotype, and I find like the same kind of drivel. And it's not even done like in an artistic way, like Boys in the Hood. There's no social commentary. I feel like they just like to caricature people that are already caricatured already. And my thing as an author is that my characters are mainly black, but they are professional. They have professional positions and professional statuses. And I'm trying to show attention that we have a black intellectual. Like even this event, I love it because it's nice to see calm, informed. I'm not going to be rude, but it's true, because what you see on TV or in the newspaper is always the same kind of rowdy black stereotype, and we have to just support each other and push through and kind of show that black culture is very beautiful, it's very deep, and it's very eloquent. But we have to start from within as well. We start promoting that and not just promote the gangster rap and everything. Do you know what I mean? We have to show that we are well-rounded as well. That's part of the problem, I think.
Question?
I'd say that being black and hip-hop culture is something that has inspired me like throughout my life, and I'd say it's something that has like shaped me to the person that I've become as well, because it's just always been there. And even with my line, like I always say, like it's based on late 90s to early 2000 hip-hop culture, and as much as there's a lot of bad things associated with hip-hop, I think that there's a lot of good things that have come out of it as well. And when I want to be inspired, like I'd probably put on a Nicki Minaj track, because she's always talking about how great she is and how successful she's going to be. So as much as there's a lot of music that glamorizes the bad aspects of black culture, I think there is a lot of good in it, and you've just got to be very selective about what you surround yourself with, what you feed into, because I feel like the media is very powerful in putting down black culture and in saying that, okay, anything that is black is a negative, or saying what black culture is, like you were talking about TV shows that glamorize violence and certain aspects of black culture that we maybe don't appreciate. But I think if something is a part of who you are, and I see what I do as a positive thing, I believe that I also am a part of black culture, and I'm also a part of, like with my line, an expression of hip hop, an expression of all the things that make me. And as long as I'm positive in what I'm doing, then I really don't see what the problem is. I guess I just keep going on in that direction.
Thank you, Florence and Ella, for your contributions. Anyone else from the audience? You look really eager. Stand up, please, and tell us your name.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Femi. My question to the panel is about a book, of course. So, not joking, I'm just around. Okay, alright. So all of you are here because all of you have different journeys and different things which have inspired you. So the question that I really want to ask you guys is, what has inspired your journey? And also, is there like anyone or is there anything specifically that keeps you motivated and keeps you going? Thank you.
If you want to take that first, please.
Sure. What has inspired my journey? I think, number one, God, I'm a Christian, and yeah, staying true to that. So that's been my major inspiration, and knowing that I'm doing what God has called me to do. I think once you wake up to purpose and you know your purpose, it makes things a lot easier. There are still challenges in journey and challenges within the journey, but knowing that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So just sort of staying true to that. And also the people around me are massive motivation. My family, my friends who are a great source of encouragement. So yeah, that's my answer.
And Linda?
I think mine will be the emails that I receive from 7-year-olds who read the magazine. It's nice to have a publication which is for the people, by the people, and having parents, email me and say finally they can buy a magazine that they can buy their daughter or buy their son. That is something that keeps me going. And believe me, sometimes it gets tiring if you feel like you want to quit, but once again you find your purpose, there's no stopping you.
Thank you for that. I think we've got time for a few more questions. All right, yeah. Sorry, I just missed you. Tell us your name, please.
My name is Chandra. It's kind of going along, Femi's questions here. What inspired each of you to set up your own business, and also who has been your greatest influence throughout your life?
Ella?
What's inspired me to start writing is, I guess, my love for it. I've written since I had access to a computer, since I was like 8. I've always written. And what's kept me going has been my family, like their belief in me, my friends, my best friends in the audience, Michael, is my art for me, and also the response I've gotten from people telling me that, oh, before you, I never knew I could write a book. You've encouraged me to follow my own dreams. So it's like, show people that you can do it. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are.
I would say the influence and the kind of impact that I believe that we can all have on society. I'm a strong believer in change and the impending change that I believe that our generation should sort of see. So I think that for me is the biggest motivating factor of just seeing a change in society for the better.
And Florence?
I decided to create my line because number one, I didn't want to work for anyone else. So that was kind of my biggest motivation. And then also, I work in a very kind of niche industry, and my industry is quite a young industry as well, like the cosmetic industry and product development, and it is something that over the years and like over the last, I don't know, 200 years has just constantly been changing and is constantly readapting, and I just wanted to be like one of the kind of new generation change makers in my industry. And I'd say my biggest inspiration are people in my industry who are no longer alive, but their legacy lives on. So people like Coco Chanel, Elizabeth Arden, and like names who have either established a business name that lives on after them, or have put something out there or a system of work that still exists after they're gone. And I'd say that probably inspires me the most. Like that's what I hope to achieve.
I think for me it was having the foundation of my parents. My dad was reading to me from a young age. My mum, made sure she sat with me, and I had that foundation there. So, as I grew up and my mum realised, you're really good at English, maybe that's something you should look into. I always found that throughout life I was falling back on English, or, finishing my first novel at 13. Even though I didn't do anything with it, I didn't know how to publish. Later on I realised, okay, this is my calling. So I think inspiration again from young people, children, emailing, that's something that keeps me going.
Excellent, excellent. I'd like to ask you guys a question, if you guys don't mind, really quickly. It's not really a question, it's more of like an observation, but I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on it. And it's basically like we're in a generation where it seems a lot of people have like the dream or the aspiration to be a young entrepreneur by the time they're 25 or something along those lines, and that's fantastic, that's excellent, but not everybody's wired up that way. Not everybody necessarily wants to chase, like blue chip companies and be a business mogul or whatever. So for people whose ambitions or aspirations lie elsewhere, maybe in politics, maybe in health, maybe in education, what kind of encouragement can you give to them to help them to realise that what they have to offer is something that's worth, fighting for, worth, chasing after, and that's open to anyone.
When I think about myself and my business, I don't really look at it as like I'm doing anything that is different, or well, yeah, it is different, but I don't look at it as I'm doing anything that is more than what anyone else can do, because I just see it as this is the career path I have chosen over going down a corporate route or furthering my education or anything else that I could do. This is just the way I've chosen to advance in life, and this is what I'm passionate about, and this is what I love. So what I'd say is, as amazing as it is and as glamorous as it is to have authors and to publish your own magazine and to create your own product, I think if it's not what you love, then there's no point in doing it. So if what you love is going down a traditional path, whether it be through furthering your education or working for a big corporate company, then as long as it's what you love, just carry on, keep working at it, keep developing yourself, learn as much as you can about your industry, and just really focus on where you want to go and what you want to do, and just don't be, because as glamorous and as glittering as what everyone else is doing, like everyone has their individual struggles that they're dealing with and they are able to deal with because they are doing what they love. So as long as you carry on doing what you love and you keep working towards that, then I think that you can't really compare it. There's no comparison, because then we're all kind of on the same level ground in that sense.
Absolutely. Okay, there's one more question. So, I don't know. People are looking at me. Okay, these guys are being bold and saying this side. So, the corner of the glasses.
My question is, as 4 young black women, how do you battle against certain perceptions attached to black women, especially within the media, especially with most shows, most reality TV shows, and do you battle against that, or do you just go about your life?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, with me working in publishing, I have to. You're dealing with men, predominantly business. And sometimes I find that men don't know when to separate business and when they feel like it's okay to pass a comment or you know, touch you inappropriately, and that's something that, you know, there needs to be an open discussion about it. And in terms of the media and how black women are presented, for me, you know, there's this whole notion that there's a single black mother, single father, broken homes, and that's not really a reality. That's just a segment. That's just a part of what, you know, they've decided to push forward and create and make a stereotype. I would say it's really important for us as black people to have our own media outlets, to have our own, you know, photography studios, so we can create images and redefine stereotypes and, you know, redefine what people have defined us for so long. So let's start creating and having our own businesses.
With regards to media, I don't really watch a lot of media. I don't really watch much TV, and I kind of just try to surround myself and watch programs or read things that will inspire me and help me to grow, because I am someone that is really affected by what is around me and what I see and what I read. So I try to kind of really focus in on what is going to build me in what I do. And with regards to myself in business, one thing I kind of have learned, I learned really early on, was to just be confident in what I'm doing. I've never really had any issues being black or being a woman, but I'd say the main issue I've had is working independently and not having a team around me and not saying, okay, well, here's my secretary and here's my, I do most of my business, or I outsource it. So one thing I had to deal with was just having people take me seriously working singularly. And I realized that the reason why a lot of people weren't taking me seriously is because I wasn't taking myself seriously, and I was kind of approaching them as a person and not as a unit. So I think it's not really down to me being a woman or being black, but just about being confident in my business and in what I do, and knowing that I am as important as their biggest client.
In response to Vane's question, first of all, I think of a quote from another rap song from Jay-Z, Murder's Excellence, when he says, it's time for us to redefine black power. And okay, I'm a black female, so maybe you might see me as socially, you're at a disadvantage, but there's no point kind of carrying a chip on your shoulder when you can get to where you want to be, because there's a lot of resources and opportunities in this country. Fair enough, education is expensive, but you can do it. So I'm not going to have a victim attitude and think I'm going to fail. I'm going to use my black skin and my gender, which people might see as a weakness, and as a writer, I use it to write about black women, and it's helped me because it's helped me gain a lot of readers. So what might seem some people as a barrier has helped me actually get to where I want to be. So don't let anybody tell you what your weaknesses are, and make them into your strengths. That's my answer.
Okay, I've been told that I'm allowed to take one more question. I'm going to take it from the guy over there because he gave me one screw face and I said no, it's back. Stand up please, tell us your name.
Hi ladies and gents, I'm Emmanuel from Push in Treehouse here. Thank you so much for your answers, which have really been helpful. One of my questions was slightly stolen, but I'm just going to flip it. I'm a big believer in teamwork. For those of you that actually work in teams within your organisation, what tips would you actually say, or what tactics would you actually use within incorporating teamwork in order to excel and take your business to the next level?
So, as an author, I work with my friend. He's an artist and he's an illustrator. So basically, we work together, and I don't just tell him, do this, do that. We actually compromise, we exchange ideas, and we work together well because we have the same kind of the same work ethic. So work with somebody that's passionate as you, because if the other person's half-hearted, it will reflect in the work. So you have to find something that matches your work ethic, matches your vision, and wants to complement and wants to help you, and also wants to better you as well.
One thing I would say is I currently run a team of about 15 people, and one thing that's helped me is knowing that leaders make leaders. So it's not enough me leading people, I need to also train up the people to lead other people, and I think that's a massive system of growth that you have right there. Also allowing the people within your team to buy into the vision, so much so that they feel like they have a sense of entitlement to what you're doing. So if people have visions within the visions, they're more committed to what you're doing, if that makes sense. So majorly, leaders make leaders. As a leader, make sure you're growing up the people that are coming behind you.
For me, it would be... For me, it would be everyone comes with their own flair of personality, and as someone who is, running, directing a team of people, you have to be very patient, and you have to have the time to understand each individual that is coming to the company. They're all going to bring something different. You can't always expect people to be the same, and that's something I'm learning as an individual myself. Sometimes I feel like I can be a bit controlling or a bit overprotective, because when you've taken so long to bring something up and watch it grow, you don't really want all sorts of personalities coming in, and someone who's outspoken to say something on a social media platform, or someone who is may not be proactive. You might have to say, okay, I need you to do this or do that. So I think it's all about managing personalities, and then taking time to know them as friends, because from there, there's genuine love that grows from there. Definitely agree with that.
Okay, and so finally, just wrapping up this segment of the evening, we have some questions on the live Twitter feed, and one of them, if you kind of already answered it, to be quite honest, but I'll just put it out to the rest of you guys on the panel, and it's basically saying, how can we inspire the younger generation, the people coming behind us, to also chase their dreams and to ensure that we don't leave them behind?
One thing I'd say is to be honest and to be forthright with information. A big question I get asked is like, how did I fund my business? How did I finance my business? And that is a big question that I had when I wanted to start up my business, and it was something that people who were successful in what they were doing didn't want to tell me, and I didn't really understand why. And now that I do have, my business does exist, I kind of do realize that there are some things that you may not want to share, or for example, if you're getting funding from your parents, you don't want to seem like that kid that's, getting funding from their parent. But you need to be really honest with people about how you've developed, how you've got to the stage that you're at, so people can know whether their ideals are realistic and find ways that they can achieve it and know what is open to them. And I'm a really big believer in learning from other people's mistakes. So as much as sharing the good times and the great things that have happened in what you're doing, I think it's important to be honest about your failures and areas that you wish that you developed in order to help other people develop.
Incorporating the younger generation. Currently my company works with 2 young people. I think one of them may be listening. He's called Nature, he's 10 and he's an entrepreneur. And him and his brother, who is 7, currently they're independent distributors of the magazine. So not only are we encouraging them to go out into the community, push their business, but also push ours, but also showing that it's okay for there to be a mutual exchange of finance. It doesn't matter how old you are, you're distributing what we are putting out, you're looking up to us, and you can go out and meet the community at events, talk to children, their minds are like sponges and they want to be inspired. You just have to ignite that.
Would you like to be at our next event? Visit dreamnation.co.uk and join our free mailing list in the top right-hand corner. You will receive exclusive content and free updates on future projects so that you'll never have to miss out again. Work hard and keep dreaming.